Final week of Summer Skirmish. Can we get some noise in the arena here? Please, at PAX. Players jumping out Haunted Hills, Junk Junction, and even Snobby, potentially engagements happening early. It would surprise me if too many players went to the top of the villain layer. You see one kind of floating in, that white arrow on the left side. The reason being, typically, if the drops are directly under the bus at the beginning of a match, especially in competitive, players, they tend to not necessarily go there because the thought that it might be a high-pressure zone, early engagements can be risky. If you're not on top of your loot, you know, the speed at which you can loot, you can put yourself in a bad position. Now, our winner from last round, Sean, was taken. Dropping in, going east side past Retail. Retail, a pretty common POI for players to hit in public matches, but Sean looking over here towards the little the park here. It's got a number of loot spots, a couple chests up top that he can, yeah, he's going to try and get some material build up for those, and landing right on a weapon, which is, I mean, that's the smartest play you can make.
You know what it is? I actually have a buddy named Connor who loves to land in this area, and it's because there is 7 trillion metal.
Oh yeah,
literally
every single one of those.
Like, look at all the RVs that he's, you know, got the ability to just break on down. He's got someone actually pretty close by. Slazenu, does he have any idea that Sean is here? They're both popping big shields, it appears, as there might be an engagement early on.
Painful PvP, one of our players that scored a high number of eliminations last match, landed here in Salty Springs. He's got a number of, he's got some neighbors that he's going to have to deal with here in a second, and the house that he dropped, that treehouse, a pretty common one because there are multiple 3 chest spawns in one house. High density loot is something you'll see a lot of players, competitive players, favor because there's more chances of landing directly on a chest. You don't have to panic. There's it's planning, it's coordination, and it's a lot of forethought.
So the audio in Fortnite will work, especially with chests, where if you look in the area that it is, it will actually be louder. So right there, you saw he couldn't tell if there was a chest above him, so he winds up looking at it and hears it, then realizes, oh, I'm going to go to the top of the sniper tower and go and loot that thing as soon as possible.
In the background there, you saw Double's just kind of keeping his eyes out for a build fight happening just past him. There was a legendary double barrel already obtained. And Ubernoob in the north side landed at the hotel. A pretty common drop, but he's getting shot at. A little bit of back and forth right here would be super, a really, really good idea. You don't want to get picked out of midair, especially with only 128 HP. He's doubling back. It looks like
he wants this fight.
He wants the engagement. The green tank, a green AR, not a terrible loadout early game.
No, he just wants to double rift. He's rifting again.
He might be, is he trying to use all the rifts to prevent his opponent from getting out of there?
Oh, there he goes. There he goes.
Popped a second one. More shots coming out there. Sketch as he's looking to get basically any damage that he can on his target. It's not necessarily about the elimination courage. It's about maybe putting pressure because you get a couple tags on him, especially because rank means quite a bit. Top 10 is a point. He's just trying to get a couple hits on him and hope that maybe somebody else eliminates him. Now, Wheels, we saw eliminated early, late game underneath Durburger, but a quick replay. Divine, a player we were talking about earlier, had a very high blaze. He's a third and a first. Gets the drop on Kutra there. The minigun, not often used, I feel like, especially in the current meta. SMGs and shotguns are favored quite a bit, Jack.
Except for maybe late game a little bit, as you see the tag there, Lucky Landing, where we currently are with multiple players involved. Monster, who won Heat 3, is actually involved in this engagement with Fuzzy. Fuzzy's just trying to keep this high ground. Blue pump, so useful early game when you've got to think Monster probably doesn't have max HP.
He did, or he did an 102 damage headshot there, and Fuzzy gets an elimination, but he's not the only one left down here in the south. Back over at Greasy, we're watching Wheels. His opponent, kind of a little top-down fight. The chest. Now, Jack, the chest sound between Wheels and Hysteria, that they could almost use that to mask themselves, right?
There was that minigun, and why you don't really see it used too often. It's not the best weapon to have, but when your loadout is a bolt action, or sorry, a hunting rifle, a deagle, and then that, yeah, it's not fun. The hand cannon, probably not the best weapon there.
Wheels and Hysteria playing cat and mouse in this house, audio being the #1 utility. Hysteria making as much noise as he can with the C4, trying to put some lines of sight between him and Wheels, see if he can get the elimination, catch him off guard. He was looking down underneath. Feels for the doors. Launch that out. Hysteria trying to get away. A 1 damage. That pump shotgun, I don't think is super effective at that range, but it was either take the shot or swap and not get a shot off. So he went for what he could.
So he was immediately prepared to begin to chase down Hysteria right there. But once Hysteria built a little 1-by-1 and some nice little cover with that metal, that was enough to deter him from going from that fight, even when he knows Hysteria was under 100 health and he had maxed HP. That, for me, is a questionable decision. I feel like that's an elim that you kind of have to push and go for, especially with that much health and what he had at his inventory. He had the shotgun to go with. He had like 200 materials to build with. I think he had enough to go after that one.
What we were watching earlier. Bowman dropping in here. Oh, fast edit on Double. Does the replacement, immediately takes a corner out and pushes in. To AYDAN, one of our high elimination players from the last game.
I wonder if he landed tilted then, because he definitely landed tilted this one, and there's the Rift to go.
The Rift to go.
And he's just going to hunt his opponent.
The interesting thing about Rifts to go, Jack, if you're outside, if you're through a wall when one of those is popped, even maybe a floor up or down, it will still grab you on initial use. So his opponent looks like it picked him up and pulled him with him.
Imagine, yeah.
Imagine. The tap fires.
Rift to go himself? Imagine again if he opened a rift right there from the portal. But Wish, player we've seen a lot of, challenging someone up close.
Gets really accurate AR shots, gray or not, the accuracy made every difference there. The 30 damage shots, he had 4 body shots on him, and that was all she wrote. AYDAN back still here and tilted, taking shots on Alpha. This build fight, and there's that Rift to go, grabbing both players, even though they weren't standing right on top of each other. The proximity of that you can even pull opponents out from inside of buildings. They land at the same time, and AYDAN gets a quick elimination with a shotgun.
Wow, impressive stuff, Dr. David. His opponent's going to use a Rift to go just in front of him, and now he'll follow it on up. As he's just trying to spot where did this guy run to. Typically, if you're seeing someone use a Rift to go in that scenario, they're playing it as like a, hey, I need to get out of here. It's like a defensive, I've got to leave this fight. I'm not in a good spot.
AYDAN looks like he potentially missed a jump and had to drop back down and build a bit of cover for himself. Sorry, Cat's Talks, my apologies, got the names backwards there. AYDAN, the one with the top-down view, pushing and getting as much damage, and every little bit counts. And he gains knowledge even from just hitting one time, because you can see whether or not the damage is white or blue will tell you whether or not the opponent has shield or if they're down to just HP, and that can make the difference between an aggressive push or maybe slow playing a little bit.
And if you're wondering how, and look at this from AYDAN. Look at this from AYDAN.
Jump shot, swapping.
This should be a quick little cleanup here for him, you'd think. Here's the minis getting popped. He's going to force this, wanting to make sure his opponent cannot heal through the aggression he's putting on. The drum gun, this 50-bullet clip is so good. Yes, the reload's a little bit longer, but it is so worth it in these spots. He can't get out. It seems he's trapped. AYDAN, can he finish the elim? There it is.
That 52 damage headshot.
Another point earned.
This is why even the green drum gun right now is one of the most powerful and
100%.
most utilized weapons, because up close, when you're at the point where there's no damage drop-off, a 52 damage headshot takes an opponent out
50
in
bullet clip.
4 hits. 4, if you hit all headshots, and that's incredibly fast.
It's pretty good. I'm being honest with you.
I think that's the understatement of the century. Getting super accurate shots there from that green suppressed SMG, but the stink grenade, Logan having to back out. He's got one on him as well. Very low HP, stuck.
Look at this zone.
The edge. We're seeing a lot of this. This
first zone was half off the map.
Southwest corner of the map getting quite a bit of play during this qualifier's second game, and we've got kind of a greasy, shifty area focused. This time tilted, still involved. And if you're Kevy, you're out in Dusty, you can gather up a couple mushrooms, make a little bit of a play on some materials, but you have to move soon.
Joystick, the quick peek there. A little bit of damage. You feel naked when you don't have shields, Lupo. And I can tell you that's how Joystick's feeling with how fast he's peeking and immediately building for cover.
He's not going to be pushing too aggressively, whether or not his opponent has shield at that point, because getting third party could mean just a quick one shot or like a one burst if all the shots hit. It can put him out of the game. He's going to stay up top, like you said, the very fast little uncrouch, shoot, and recrouch and hide on the ramp. Positioning the ramp can be pretty important too. You see he's kind of shifting around. If he's looking on the opposite side, it would not surprise me if he did a quick edit and change the orientation of the ramp. Now on your screen right now, those top 3 players, even though one is eliminated, they all come away with 1 point already in game 2. AYDAN, Crashy, and Airco. But Airco already eliminated, which means Crashy and AYDAN, they need push for a couple more eliminations, 2 more apiece will get them another point. That'll put them at 2 points, but they're in a pretty comfortable spot. Even just 1 point, like we've been saying, can mean the difference between making it to the grand finals or not. And Teenage here. Stop watching the pushing the opponent. What a shot on Ash.
But here's the thing, not able to loot because he only has 7 health. So, yes, he wins that fight, but he's immediately got to start sprinting. Can't even get kind of his little gifts that were left behind. The Boogie Bomb. Uh-oh.
They got to get the Boogie Bomb. He's got to rotate down. Stays out long enough. The Boogie wears off, but he's getting this is Grenader Jake, one of our guest casters from yesterday, now playing in the qualifiers today.
That's incredible. Cast yesterday, qualifies today.
The jack of all trades,
yeah.
I would say.
Or maybe the Jake of all trades.
Jake of all trades.
I'm leaving. That was abysmal.
Okay, courage.
Oh, man.
I thought I was the one that made bad jokes.
I love you, Ben. Let's see how Takata plays this one, though. Both players getting third-partied, one from the west, one from the south. No materials left. He's kind of panicking, and great, you picked up 9 metal.
It's not going to get you very far. A name we watched earlier, stuck in the bottom of Shifty Shafts on 1v1 versus opponent, gets quick at it. He has an opportunity, gets it on Fuzzy, a jump shot, and uses a line of sight to block the explosion from the C4. An intelligent play and very good positioning there.
And just to take note, that was the third elim for Lene in this one.
Oh, the trap.
Oh, he sprayed it down just in time.
Tristan in the middle of that 1v1, as soon as the trap goes down, decides to stop shooting his opponent, shoot the wall out, and then re-engage. That could have gone bad very quickly.
Remember, traps doing 150 damage. It's a lot, is how much they do, basically.
Yes, 150 is, in fact, a lot. I just checked.
It most certainly is. Wait, what is the right side of this map right now? Look at everyone.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players roughly in that little ball, plus another one south and north. A couple of them stuck, hanging out in maybe a safe 1-by-1. But we have a ton of players on top of each other. But this is the southeast corner on top of S Hill.
Is this a tilted landing?
We might have a tilted.
Sorry, tilted ending, not landing. My goodness. Lazy boy Chino just bouncing around. He's got one player close to him here. So when these players in these scenarios, for people at home wondering, when we say audio cues, they are listening for if the footsteps are on wood or if they're on the ground. They're listening for if they begin to break walls, if they're breaking metal, if they're breaking wood or brick. They're listening for audio cues if the players are above or below them. You see AYDAN hunting one down here. Could this be the end? No.
Accuracy.
AYDAN, another elim.
It's about 4 right now. I feel like if he keeps this consistency, he might set a record thus far for the qualifier eliminations. He's already got 4. He came away, with 7 last round?
Yep. I think the most yesterday was Turkey Lips with 14 across 4 games. So that puts him already 11, and he's still alive here in game 2.
He's boy and Rex, top of this hill right now. 40 seconds before they're going to have to start rotating, and they have quite a bit of travel time ahead of them. We have 5 players currently alive, by the way, with 3+ elims, plus 2 more that were already eliminated with 3+ elims.
Wait, he got another one.
AYDAN's now
AYDAN
5.
now got a 5th elim.
Gives him 2 more points.
Is he the GOAT? Is he the GOAT? Is he the best player ever?
He might be. He might be.
And he's just leaving. He's fine with leaving that.
This is an intelligent rotation, too. Whether or not he doesn't need to know if Joystick is one shot, it would be useful information. But right now, he's looking at the zone. He's saying, I have 5 elims. I'm not necessarily guaranteeing elimination from that fight over there. Multiple players could potentially be above me, so now's the time to move out.
We mentioned so much yesterday how people could be more nervous at these LAN environments. They're going from practicing against some of the best online to seeing them face to face, sitting to their left and right. AYDAN looks unfazed.
He looks like he's at home sitting on his couch playing.
Right. And now he's entered tilted. Uh-oh. Shots coming in from Big Red. Will he try to fall back in towards Tacos and possibly drop a trap down? I feel like that's kind of his defensive play.
You heard the C4 bounce, maybe potentially gets the tree or another surface over there. An earlier push, an earlier toss.
And there it is, exactly.
C4.
I thought that's what he would do.
Stay inside, bandage. He's got multiple med kits, which is perfect. That C4 toss from the player in the middle of Big Red, if it had come just a little bit earlier and maybe use the angle off the wall, the building next to AYDAN, could have gotten that elimination from blast radius, but a little bit of hesitation made it so that AYDAN could rotate out and hide inside that building, like you said.
I feel like if you're at that point for AYDAN, you're just kind of hoping people forget you're in there. let others get third party to have to reset, think about other fights. You see all these quick edits coming on in. Lenane just staying alive. Boyer just outside there, Shifty. Nice there as well.
Saint looking like he's in a fantastic position at the top
Wait,
of that.
And look at this. Painful was in second in elims just below AYDAN last game. Consistency is key, and these two understand that.
Like Okada was just eliminated with 4 eliminations of his own, 1 short of getting the second point for eliminations, but even just 1, it's a valiant effort. 30 remaining here, 1:23 until the zone starts to move. I believe once this zone closes is when the next circle is, that's when the storm starts to mix things up and everybody's got to relocate.
Absolutely. As we see just how they break on out of Tilted here. AYDAN, it's like he's invisible. He's just running across Tilted.
You hear the footsteps, trying to go for that shotgun shot over the top, just get a little peek, and his opponent is going to back down underneath. And the traps are coming out. You got to be safe and careful walking through there. They could even be on the surface above. There are multiple traps. This is not how. 185.
Are you kidding me? I'm now a fan of AYDAN.
Look at his face too. It's like nothing even happened.
This would be back-to-back 7 elim games if he can earn himself 1 more elimination. Ridiculous, ridiculous stuff. And he's actually in another fight with Saint. He's in another fight on the map. We'll have to keep you updated on that one. As you see, Hysteria still alive here. He got 11th in game 1. Was 1 elim. He in that last fight was 1 elim away from earning that top 10 for a point.
Aggressive push and gets Saint. That's 7 eliminations for the second game in a row.
I am speechless. I'm going to say right now, folks, can we give it up, please, in the venue for the performance we're seeing from AYDAN right now? Mind-blowing stuff. 14 elims has already tied #1 from yesterday, which took them 4 games to reach that point.
Nobody else seems to be playing nearly as aggressively as he does, and he's taking advantage of that. Maybe it's a thought process.
Is this 8? Is this 8? Is this 8? Oh,
trap.
Okay, the trap stole it.
He only took 2 ticks from that, the stink bomb right there. He's still in a good spot. 70 elims. There's 23 people left, and he's smack dab in the middle of the safe zone. Yeah. He doesn't have to play over the aggressive. He's got to take the trap out. You got a bit of loot in there. Watch
he needs the AR ammo, and he knows that.
You got to remember earlier too, there were 2 traps that were placed in here. So hopefully he recalls that there is another trap still in that building. Oh my gosh. Wow. Magnum with a swipe on an opponent trying to push up a ramp right there.
At this point, we're watching the AYDAN qualifiers because he is far and away our top player to this point. There's everyone inside Tilted. Wallhack Jack under 70 HP. Haste Loomsy under 50 HP. You had another player in Tacos Week as well. And AYDAN early rotating again. This man in the open and no one's shooting at him. And it's like everyone's afraid. They know. Don't push towards the woman with the library glasses.
Absolutely not. This Rook skin maybe giving him superpowers. I have no idea.
Okay, we take back everything we just said.
I don't think, regardless of the outcome of this, there's no way this is a caster curse.
How?
The trap he placed earlier got another elimination.
The trap comes into play. Now this player being third party, he wasn't able to clean up the elim.
Boyer gets joystick there. AYDAN looking for his 9th elim, but 8 eliminations in a single game. He's got a slurp ticking right now, so he has a buffer of HP still going up. He's in a great spot. He's in the safe zone. His materials are ridiculous. Intelligent play is going to guarantee AYDAN the win. He knows what to do. He knows how to do it, obviously.
AYDAN could literally leave after game 2 and catch his dinner reservation and qualify for Monday. And if he can you bring me back something? A little breaded roll?
Jack, are you always hungry? Shots here, third party.
I am, actually.
Loomsy gets Cole in the feed there with a trap from earlier as well. AYDAN's looking to secure that 9th elim. Painful on top of him, though. The second place elimination player, they're stacked on top of each other, which means you have 2 Slayers here that might get forced into an engagement.
An AYDAN chant now breaking.
There's actually an AYDAN chant here at PAX West right now.
And I'm just in awe as to what I am watching. He's just chilling at the moment. Painful in the same build as well. The storm beginning to move on in as people will have to follow on up. Wallhack Jack just actually dropped to the zone.
16 players left. The storm's got 20 seconds till it closes, which means 6 more players go down, and then people start to pick up points based just on their placement.
Yep. What does AYDAN do here? Looks like he'll just hide on out for now as we swap perspectives for a moment. This is Painful, who's above him in that same structure. 4 limbs, 1 more elimination for Painful, and that'll net him a second point to continue to put him separated from the rest of the pack. And look at everyone in that structure. Painful, Sen, Animal, AYDAN, Boyer, Loomsy. Saf is still alive with 200 HP as well. AYDAN wants this.
Slow
AYDAN's hunting.
Play.
Actually, okay, no, his ear's itching.
Closes his edit out there just to make sure.
Now AYDAN's hunting. And what the theme I keep seeing, Lupo, is he is absolutely the first to just charge on up and move to the best positioning for the next zone early on.
I can't tell if it's just an incredible amount of confidence and knowledge that other players are rotating slowly, or if it's so gutsy. Shots coming from above. He's getting third party, maybe even fourth party, 50 HP remaining. He's got to defend with this turbo build as fast as he can.
He's trying to edit out.
He went for the edit to back out. 8 eliminations. Even more than the first game, Jack. Nobody else is putting up numbers like that except for him right now.
Yeah, nobody.
PvP doing an excellent job of his own, though. 15 left. He's got 4 of his own. Gets rocketed by Lenane. Caught off guard. I shouldn't have said a thing, but Lenane making an intelligent play there and saw him from above.
Lenane, look at everyone having to move through that zone right now. Lenane is in a brilliant position to spray on down. Look at all the layers being built, and he says, you know what? I got to catch up with these. Rockets in hand. It's time to throw out the splodes. 1 drops on in. Going to collapse everyone to the floor as he continues to build above these players. 9 now left. Everyone's still alive. Just earned a point. Eliminates his teammate there. More pushing out forward. Only 6 left as Lenane continues to keep this high ground.
The number of layers, the number of little chambers that are being built here.
He needed the materials. He had to go for it.
At one point in there, it looked like some players were even holding hands almost. Tristan Hip going down to Boyer, an SMG in the feed, but Lenane has the launcher out. He's looking for it. It's not the only splode he has either, Jack. He has a single C4 left, which could come in key for dropping a structure late game, get an opportunity on another player and timing.
Multiple remote explosives being thrown. You see, Lenane for a second was wondering if that was his own structure. He only has about 11 more materials he can build. Is he going to try to time this rocket? He is. He tried to blow up the remote explosives as his rocket went to hit. He just barely missed it.
A little bit more distance would have made a big difference.
Literally,
there.
one more block would have been enough.
Looked like the rocket detonated the C4, which is it's an excellent high IQ play. It's just the distance needed to be different, but he does have it. He's got a top-down view, but like you said, low build count. He's got to start making moves down on the players. Otherwise, the third party here gets the shots, can't secure the elim. He's starting to take damage from the storm, but he's got to push in 4 left. He's got 5.
2 rockets could be enough to secure 2 of them right here. There's one. How about another?
3 remaining.
Doesn't quite connect. 3 players left. 6 elims right now for Lenane. Can he wind up securing maximum points with the 7 elim bonus and the Victory Royale bonus? That would be, I believe, our first 6-point game we've had yet this weekend. There's a shot.
Oh! The edit from above from Animal right through the metal surface there. He caught a window and took the shot with a shotgun and got Lenane on the rotation. 1v1 Animal.
Animal building out up, and this earns him not only another point for potentially the Victory Royale, but if he gets the final elim, that puts him at 3 eliminations. He's got all he needs. I've got Animal as my favorite to win this game. Let's see if he can secure it here. 10 seconds left in the zone. He's trying to get aggressive for the push. He knows how much it means to get this final elim and the Victory Royale. He can essentially stamp his ticket to Monday's qualifiers if he can get this here, or sorry, the finals if he gets it here. The shot's coming on in. Tries to get the floors and the pyramids going. 1 player just below. He's going to go to pop the mini, but then has to reset as the shots continue to rain on in. That drum gun so good at cutting down these layers. Smart play to reset. He'll build up top, but again, the volley of bullets continues to spray on in. Animal, when will be his cue to go for it all? He's trying to edit this pyramid. There you go. He's getting it somewhere.
Trying to create a hole to drop down through right there. He finds an opportunity. You notice he built up, like you said, built a second layer.
It's a shot. Weak. There it is. Saf gets cut down. More points earned as we have our victor for game 2.
Excellent gameplay from a number of players over the course of that. He's got that #1 holding it up, and that last elimination gives him 2 more points. Let's take a look back at what just happened. This rotation, the timing, the decision to drop down, and he does get the 55 damage crit there. Switches to the gold AR to finish. guarantees him the win.
Once he gets that 55 clean HP damage, I think he's going to himself, this is a dub. This is really, I'm feeling quite good. And he knew it, immediately starts spraying with that drum gun, has the legendary assault rifle if needed. The victory there for Sen Animal in game number 2 will put us halfway done with tonight's action. And so far it has been quite intense. I love, you know someone's going off when there is a battle royale game like Fortnite, where there are so many stories, so many players, so much going on, but one player, AYDAN, can not only get a chant from the crowd.
People were actually yelling his name here. It was incredible.
But then the majority of the camera time, because the whole story is him.
Well, when you're putting up 8 eliminations in a competitive BR environment, it puts him at 15, which, like you were saying before, Turkey Lips yesterday had 14, but I think AYDAN right now has the most eliminations in any qualifier thus far. And we're not even done. We have tomorrow as well. We have 2 more games tonight. He could continue a tear. And he's playing in a way that we haven't seen anybody else thus far play. Multiple times we cut directly to his feed. He was running in the open, Jack. No one was taking shots. It happened in Greasy. It happened again outside of Tilted.
It's like he's calling the bluffs of everyone. Like, I know you all want a limbs, but guess what? You say you're going to play for them, you're more worried about the top 10. And I feel like as the game, and I'm seeing it more and more, as the game's getting towards like the top 20, everyone's like afraid to peak, and we're going to go ahead and roll some AYDAN replays here as we talk over this, but it's one of those things where he's recognizing, hey, there's 15 left. No one wants to be the next one to die, so guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to position myself, run out in the open, and call the bluff on everyone that they'll peak and put myself in the best spot to secure a win or another elim.
It's incredible to see gameplay from players like this. And the other thing I've noticed about the way that he's been playing, more so especially in the first game, he's taking loadouts that are not necessarily common. Right there he has one that you'll see quite a few players run, but even the first game he had the purple burst, he had a compact SMG, which a lot of players are choosing the drum gun over it just because of the pure amount of damage it can do up close. And it seems like he's versatile with whatever he's running.
Here it is again. It just puts himself in a great spot to secure quick, clean eliminations. This was the whole fight inside of the kind of blue-red corner building. He knows the opponent's placing traps and running up the stairs, and he perfectly times it. Where Sloth goes to peek, he says, anything you can do, I'm basically one step ahead, my friend. This is against Saint, who has been playing every week in the skirmish, it seems like, with OPS and SCT from TSM. Wins this 1v1 as clean as can be. Ridiculous stuff. There's a look.